Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. In today's video, we'll be learning how to make these trendy baggy trousers. If this is something you want to learn, stick around and watch till the end of this video. So from this one Ankara print, we made two of these outfits. To create this style, we'll be making use of 6 yards. This is full Ankara, and the full Ankara I used it to make two baggy trousers. So we need the fabric, your sewing tools, and elastic band, of course, for the waist. So I started off by folding my fabric into two. I was so intentional about how I folded this material because I wanted the straps to be by the side. So you can see the strap is by the side, so that is how I folded it. Okay, so I started by coming down by 1 inch at the upper part because I'm using the full length of this trouser, of the fabric. The full length will be the length of my trouser. Please go ahead to use your client's preferred length for this. So I came down by 1 inch. You see why I came down by 1 inch, right? So I came down by 1 inch, and from that 1 inch point, that 1 inch point will become my starting line. So I took my crouch depth. My crouch depth is 11 inches, but I added 2 inches, making it 13 inches because, of course, it's a baggy trousers. So I measured 13 inches and I roll out a straight line. Then from that 13 inches point, I'm also going to, this is my crouch depth, I'm also going to have my hip line. So I'm just coming off from that point by 2.5 inches, and that 2.5 inch will become my hip line. All right, so take notes of all these lines. Then on my crouch depth line, I'm putting my hip divide by 4 plus 1 inch because I want it, of course, to be very free on me. Yeah, and my hip divide by 4 plus 1 inch, right? So that is what I just marked there, and I roll out a straight line as well. So that will become my crouch line. Then at the crouch, for the crouch extension, I added 4 inches to that. For the crouch extension, I added 4 inches because, of course, it's baggy. I want it to be as free as it can be. If you don't want yours to be this free, please go ahead and use your right measurements for all of these. You can measure your normal thigh measurement and mark there. So I curved it into the hip line. So at the waistline, I came down by 1 inch just to avoid bulge at the front waistline. So you can come in by 1 inch, you can come in by 1.5 inch to avoid that front bulge so that it won't be too bulky. Yes, it's a baggy, but there should be the extent at which it should be bulky, right? It shouldn't be too bulky. Then whatever I have on my crouch line, I just measured it. That is what I will have on the whole trouser length. You understand? So I'm measuring the same thing down to my trouser length. So I'm going ahead now to measure it at the hemline, at the down part, so just to enable me to have a straight line. So I'm rolling out a straight line. So on that line, we are done marking our front trouser. Basically, this is all about it. As I said, this is very simple. This is the simplest method to go about when you are cutting this baggy trouser. So now let's cut. This tutorial is beginner friendly. If you pay great attention, your baggy trouser will come out and it will be as perfect as it should be. So this is me trying to fold this fabric so that we can cut the back parts of the trouser. As I said, I was very intentional about the folding. So I was searching for the part where I'm going to have that strap by the side of the trouser. So that is why I switch it this way. So I'm going to fold it in a way that the same strap that I have in the front part is going to still give that effect at the back side, so that the strap will just be by the side of the trouser. Okay, so when we are done folding, we brought in the front part to use it and cut the back part. So we'll just gently place the front part on the trouser the way it should be. We arrange it properly so that everything will match just exactly the way the front panel is. So the edges should match. Please pay great attention, because if you don't place it well, by the time you sew your dress, when you sew it, one part might be longer than the other. So if you place it just the way it should be, you will not have that kind of issue. So after placing the trouser, right, so we went to the up parts. You can see that the up parts, there is 1 extra inch that we minused when we were cutting the front area. So that 1 extra inch is what we are going to use and do our bum rise. I call it bum rise. Even though it's baggy trouser, we still need a little bit of space at the back part to be a little bit longer than the front, so that our butt will sit comfortably the way it should be, right? So at the crotch area, I went out by 2.5 inch for the back area, right, so that the butt can sit properly the way it should be. Then at the waistline, I went out by 3 inches. Then from that 3 inches part, I'm connecting it with a slant line to connect to the front panel. You see what I'm doing? Just repeat the same thing. So I connect back to the front panel with a slant line. Then from the 3 inches that we marked out, we'll take a straight line to the crouch line of the front, right? See what I'm doing? Then curve from that extension that I made, we'll curve it back into the back panel extension. Okay, then from the crotch depth we came down by 5 inches. Then at the 5-inch point we are coming out by 2 inch. Remember, we went out at the crotch area for the back crotch extension by 2.5 inch. Then we now came down by 5 inch from the front crouch depth, then came out by 2 inch instead. So we are taking 2.5 inch at the crotch point and 2 inches at every other point, then roll a straight line. This is just to enable the butt to sit properly. You really don't need to do this. If you even back 2.5 inch all the way through, it will still come out perfectly. It's baggy, so all of that will not be too obvious, right? You don't need too much ceremony for this to come out the way it should be. So after joining a straight line, you are done marking your front back panel, so just go ahead and cut it. So pay attention to how I'm cutting the back part. I'm cutting out the slant line at this point. Then I'm lifting the 1.5 inch we came down with at the front crouch. Remember, we came down by 1 inch to reduce bulkiness. So I just cut out that 1 inch. That is what I'm cutting out now. And after I cut out that 1 inch, I'm going to go ahead and cut every part of this trouser. If you've been watching this video till this very point, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe to this channel. Then remember, the side of the trouser was on fold, so I just went ahead and opened the folded part, right, to make it into 4 pieces. Okay, so now that I'm done cutting, we'll just keep it aside and we are going to go into cutting the pockets now. So for the pockets, we are using we are cutting the pockets with the front panel. Of course, this is the front panel. So I'm going in at the waistline by 2.5 inch. That will be my pocket. Then the length of my pocket will be 7 inches. Okay, so here I used 9 inches, right? So I went in 2.5 inch by 9 inches. So I just went ahead and connect it down. So after drawing a straight line from the 2.5 inch to the 9 inches, so just go ahead and cut it through that line. Just cut it gently, nothing serious. So I kept another fabric under it to cut my pocket cover. So at that point, I was just trying to confirm that the depth of my pocket is up to 4 inches. That is after that 9 inches that we cut. So over there, I replaced back the 2.5 inch and I connect it back to the 9 inches that we cut through. Then at the waistline, I just roll out a straight line to connect back. So I'm just replacing what we cut out. That's just what I did here. I just replaced back what we cut, and that will be our pocket cover. So I'm confirming. At that point, I was just confirming that I had the right measurement. So I went in again by 5 inches. You can use 4 inch, you can use 5 inch. So I just went in by 4 inches, and that will be where my pocket stops. So after marking the waistline, after marking the pocket by the waistline, the 4 inch that I went in, I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces of this pocket cover for both the left hand side and the right hand side. If you notice, I curved one side of the pocket. I just made it a little bit curvy. So at this point, I just cut only 1 piece. I was trying to cut the second piece of the pocket cover. So I'm just going to use this pocket cover I'm cutting 4 pieces of it. So 2 pieces will be the pocket and 2 will be the pocket cover. I'll go ahead and do this off camera. And so when we are done cutting the 4 pieces, 4 pockets, that's the 4 pieces, this is what we had. So we are leaving 2 for pocket cover and 2 will be for the pocket. So we'll just minus the 2.5 inch that we minus the 2 by 9 inches that we minus from the pocket, from the front pocket, and we'll cut it on the pocket cover. So when you're done, just roll a straight line, the same thing you did when you were marking the front pocket with the material, the front material. Now they just cut it out, nothing serious, just cut out the 2.5 by 4 inches. So this is the point I brought in my front panel. So I'm going to join my front panel together by 1/2 inch, the same way I just marked now. Just go ahead and join by 1/2 inch. Then for the pocket cover, the part that I cut the 2.5 inch by 9 inches from, if you put both of them together, they will rhyme like so. The same way you are seeing it in this picture, both of them will rhyme together, and you join it by 1/2 inch. Join both of them by 1/2 inch. I just indicated how you join it. Then after joining, go ahead and top stitch it. Do the same to the other side of the pocket. So at this point, I wanted to show us how you also sew the pocket along. So after joining the pocket cover by 1/2 inch and top stitch, you flip over to the other side and you join the pocket to it. Now this other part is the part that you did not minus anything, then you sew the way I indicated with 1/2 inch. So when we are done, we gave it a good press, and this is what we had at the end of the day. So that point is where we joined the pocket, and then the pocket cover, we joined it there and we gave it a good press. So at that point, I just indicate, just top stitch at that point to join 3 of them together. So this is the back panel, the same thing we did to the front panel. We'll go ahead and join the back panel, the crotch of the back panel by 1/2 inch. So put the front and the back of the trouser together, right side facing each other, and join the side with 1/2 inch all the way down. So when we are done joining with 1/2 inch, this is what we have. We join 1/2 inch all the way down, and we also join the back crotch. So at the down part, at the middle, just make sure you match the 2 crotch together. Make sure you match it, open your seam allowance and match it together properly. Then sew the other way with 1/2 inch all the way down, and sew this part with 1/2 inch all the way down. So for the waist of the trouser, measure the round waist, whatever this round, the whole of the round waist gives you. So whatever the whole of the round waist gives you, add 1 more inches for your sewing allowance to your band. So the band unfold is 2¼ inch. Unfold is 2¼ inch. The length is the round waist length plus 1 inches joining allowance. So for the hem of the trouser, I did a 1/2 inch in and 1 inch in. You fold 1/2 inch in and 1 inch in, and then sew. So when we are done hemming the down part, I came to show us our elastic band and our waistband fabric. So as I said, just measure your round waist, whatever it gives you. You add 1 inches to cut your your waistband. Sorry, that's with the fabric. I used a different fabric for it. Then for the elastic band, whatever is your client's waist measurement, take out 10 inches from it and use whatever the number is to cut your elastic band. So go ahead and put your waistband like so and close the edge up with 1/2 inch. So I went ahead and put our waistband off camera. I didn't know I did not film this part of the video. Okay, so I'm just going to use another fabric to show us how I attach the waistband to the fabric. So I'm using this fabric. You just put your waistband together like so. You just put your waistband together, then close the up of it. When you finish closing it, you are going to take the closed part, the part that you closed, and attach it to the back crunch seam allowance. We throw the wrong part, attach the wrong side. I'm trying so hard to explain this. Attach it to the wrong side and top stitch it by 1/2 inch, then close it up by 1/2 inch. But when closing, remain that small space that you are seeing there, because that space is going to help us pass our elastic band through it. Then use safety pin. You are going to put your elastic band in a safety pin to use and pass it. So when I was done passing the elastic band, I joined it together with 1/2 inch. So when you join it together with 1/2 inch, go ahead and arrange it into your trouser waistband properly. When you arrange it into your trouser waistband properly, top stitch that part you left open to use and pass your elastic band. Then spread the cloth as you see me doing. Then run a straight stitch at the center of the waist, as you can see, all the way around. So spread it open and run a stitch on the center. Don't forget to close that part that you use in passing your elastic band. So spread the cloth open and run a straight stitch at the center. So when you are done with this, your baggy trouser is ready and to be slayed. So this is how I slayed mine. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. If this tutorial was of any help, please don't forget to leave us a comment.